Welcome to this beautiful TEDx night, Oldenburg. Here you will have the chance to have your beautiful speech in front of a group of people that won't judge you. And we are all friends, so don't be scared about your performance or what you're going to say. Just take the opportunity to do it. I just want to remind you the few rules that we have. We have maximum 3 minutes. Then we'll have an alarm that will ring, so you know that you have to finish. Otherwise, it's going to take too much. And be yourself, be respectful, and enjoy the evening. Who is going to start? Who wants to start?
I think that the best speech against hate is the one that you can have with yourself. When any person, anybody that you neither love nor know, comes to tell you any pain or suffering, what do you do? With your body, what do you do? Maybe you stop, look at him or her, neutrally but open, willing to hear and understand. You listen him or her, you try to help, to play it down, to cheer him, saying that it's going to be okay, that he does not deserve it. You hug him, give him comfort. That is the way we should talk to ourselves. The parts of our emotional system that we do not like, the ones we hate, these are the parts that we usually hate about the others. That's why if you improve your inner dialogue, you improve the not hate dialogue with the others. When I find myself hating, I don't like myself. I find it difficult to realize that I'm hating, even more when this hate is aimed to the ones I love. You could say that I hate myself when I hate. When I hate, I don't accept myself. That's why I think the key is in loving yourself, accepting yourself. Embrace every emotion. If you love yourself, you love.
Three of a kind were not enough to set my rules in my mind. Now the time will rule my life, even if I try one more time. Family and friends, they teach me how never let someone down. It's not too late. Question is, am I still running with time? I'm driving this train and my passengers are with me. Come up with me, this is the endless journey. Sometimes the boomerang comes back to me, so it's the sign. I'll take advantage, and I'm glad I cannot repeat. This train will run forever. Next station may be the last. it's not time to regret. It's obvious to try something more. Opportunity may cost you nothing. Be a freelancer, love your home, go and shake your hand with everyone. Learn from people, help them up, because next station you can fall down.
Words are underestimated. People normally use them so easily. For example, when we see something that catches our eye, we say, "Oh my God, I love it, I have to buy it." Then we buy it and put it in a drawer. We didn't love that thing, we just liked it. Equally, sometimes we start saying bad things about something or someone, maybe because we're angry or whatever. When such things are repeated every day, that is hate. Hate towards something you don't like, you want to be, but you can't. Or something you don't know. Or there is another kind of hate. Hating for no apparent reason. Words are pretty powerful. If repeated every day, they can lead to mental distress or even fear. Words also lead to violence, psychological, physical, or even sexual violence. Everyone experiences bad things in life. I experienced them too, and I regret not speaking up in time. When these things happen to you, your first thought is, "I don't want to talk about it," or "they will find out and this will happen again." I stayed with my mouth shut for years, and now I fucking regret it. Now I look back and think, my life will be so different. I will be so different if I spoke up in time. Now the year passed, and when I look back, I see a very scared and coward version of me, and I regret it. My advice is, if something bad happens, talk about it with a friend or a relative or a professor, but please speak up for yourself. I'm Sarah, and I stand for No Hate Speech.
I've been alive 17 years so far, and I've learned a lot of words. I've learned a lot of words that have a lot of meaning, like asshole, or bitch, or pussy, or fag. All of those words are really impactful, and they change our lives. People may not realize when they say that, but they have some impact in our. There was one guy named Gibran Jalil Gibran that said sometime, "The poet and the assassin live on the heart of every single man." It's the same like the bad and the good wolf, that you decide who to feed. You have the power to harm, but also you have the power to heal. It's all within you. I've discovered in these 17 years that I've been living that conflicts only generate more conflicts. People go to war fighting for peace. People insult each other trying to make things cool. There was a sign that I saw a while back on the internet, and it said, "Bombing for peace is like screwing for virginity." And you may laugh, but it doesn't make sense. It makes the same sense. When I look back, I realized that the first years I was alive were the most important ones. Because that's when I did not have that much choice. People had the choices for me. They chose where did they want me to study, they chose where did they want me to go, who did they want me to go with. And that kind of take away my humanity, right? I don't have the power to choose anymore, apparently. I stand for kids. And I'm sorry, I don't think no one else here is a kid anymore. We're all grown-ups. We all have now the power to decide. But I think we should decide over the next generations, because we are so powerful. But youth is the future, and we're still part of that future. What I stand for is a way of education that goes differently. What I stand for is don't teach the kids. Let them learn by themselves. Let them make mistakes. Let them fall and get back up, because that's how they will grow. If you teach a kid that they cannot go through something, either they will be all the time scared of that thing, or they will gonna go through it. If you don't want your kids to do something, let them experience it, and let them decide whether they want to do that or not. I say, let them explore, let them strive, let them grow. People have been always growing. We don't need help to grow. We do it by ourselves. It's nature. I say don't guide them. Don't guide them in life. Sorry to say you're useless. Sorry to say I'm out of time. Let them go by themselves and follow them. I've known these last 17 years a lot of words. Are you gonna teach those to your kids? Thank you.
Oh, yes. I want to tell you a story. In the 1950s, in the USA, or as it says, a legend, there were made a lot of experiments on animals. But that's not the point. I'm going to explain it to you with this experiment that something animals have. We share this thing with them. So, there were 4 monkeys, and they were put in a room where there was only a ladder. On the top of this ladder, there was a banana. Every time one of the monkeys tried to get the banana, the scientist sprayed high-pressure water on the monkey. So then, after a while, the other monkeys tried to stop their fellas to get the banana. So every time a monkey would climb up the ladder to get the banana, the others were ready to pull it down. So the scientists began to change the monkeys with other monkeys. So the original group was changed, 1 monkey at a time. And the new monkeys were trying to get the banana, and the old monkeys were pulling them down. When the last monkey was replaced, the monkeys were still pulling their fellows down, but they didn't know why. I think this is one of the most important things we have to think about. There are certain things we share, love, hate that we feel or we don't know about. So, my question for you is, are we the old monkeys or the new ones? Thank you.
So, what's the tolerance? People are black, white, yellow, red, green, blue. People have the color of the world. And I have learned with us how to accept others the way they are, and how to accept the things that make me unique, different, and the things that make me like others. And we have to accept that everybody is different, because tolerance is acceptation. I've learned with other people that sometimes words hurt, sometimes that hurt me, and sometimes my own word can hurt others too. So we have to take care of what we say, even if this is the truth, we have to say it with a good way. People are not perfect. One time or two, they had hurt me, because mistake is human. However, they asked me apologize. And you know what? I've forgiven them. Because tolerance is hurt and comprehension. And finally, the most important is the respect. So, acceptation, comprehension, hurt, respect are the case against the hate speech. Thank you.
So it is a truth, universally acknowledged, that Edin loves me. But as you have probably noticed, Edin is always saying how he hates me, how he thinks I don't look okay, how he thinks I'm stupid. But the truth is, we all know he thinks I'm gorgeous and he wants to date me, etc., etc. Today I want to tell you how this can be related to every single hate speech in the world. Maybe Edin is afraid to tell me how he likes me. That's why he says he hates me. And a lot of people say I hate something or someone because they are afraid to make contact, afraid to get to know the person or the group of people. Some people hate certain groups of people because of some irrational arguments about their religion, their color of the skin, their race. And maybe they just don't give the individuals the opportunity to get to know them, to get to know their culture, their feelings, their opinion about others, to meet them and to meet the way of their lives. So when people are afraid of something, the easiest way, this is just the easiest way to make them feel the hate speech. And when people are afraid, a lot of detrimental consequences can be made, such as suicides, genocides, etc., and other detrimental things that can happen. So I ask you not to be afraid of new people, new things. Try to let them to know you and let yourself to get to know them. Thank you.
Once upon a time, there was a farmer. this farmer had only one horse. One day, this horse ran away from him, so he had nothing. Some people from the near village came to him and said him, "Whoa, you're so unlucky. Only your only horses ran away." He replied them, "Yeah, maybe." Some days after, the horse came back with some wild horses. So the people from the village came to him and said, "Whoa, you're so lucky. Now you have many horses." The farmer replied them, "Yeah, maybe." One day, the farmer's son tried to ride one wild horse, but suddenly he fell and broke his leg. So everyone from the village came to him and said, "Whoa, you're so unlucky. Your only son broke his leg falling from that shitty horses." He replied them, "Yeah, maybe." One day, the military forces came to the farmer house to draft someone for the army. But when they saw the farmer's son with the broken leg, they said, "We can draft him." So everyone from the village came to the farmer house and said, "Whoa, you're so lucky. Your only son wasn't drafted, ours." And he replied them, "Yeah, maybe." So the moral of this story and my advice to you is, when something happens to you, not see the short distance, but the long one. Thank you.
Bullying. I know a girl at the college who stayed alone because she didn't have a friend. She just heard lots of bad things from people. This girl was a big fan of Joe. Will that other people hate Heidi of the possibility that she can do something better than them? The name of this girl was Alice, and she doesn't want to hurt her parents about what happened at school. I knew Alice for a long time, but at one moment she stopped to talk with me. And I think she should say these things to her parents. I tried to talk with Alice to understand what happened between she and me. I learned with this girl we should accept everybody like they are. I'm going to tell you my story. When I was a child at school, I was bullied because I was different. I insulted me of sal blonde means bad blonde. At the end we had fights. The only fights that want to share with you is bad words or the act with violence are because the difference between people. Okay, first I would like all you to smile like this. So I want you to think about that when you smile, the feeling you have had. So now I'm going to speak about hate. Like, hate is the feeling you have towards someone when you don't like him or you try to avoid him. Moreover, hate can be caused by many hurtful experiences, like when your parents get divorced, for example. It can happen that all the harm you are experiencing, you translate it to some of your parents, for example, to your mom, for example, because you don't know how to manage those feelings, so it turns into hate towards someone. Another fact is that when you hate somebody, as Silvia has said, is that you are hating yourself. You are speaking bad about someone, but you are really thinking about one bad thing you have about yourself or one thing you don't like. So there's also I'm going also to talk about the importance that have words, like bad words, like when you hate somebody, you start insulting that person. So there is bullying, for example, at the schools. 75% of the schools of the students have ever experienced bullying. So I think that it's quite a high percentage, and we can change it. Knowing the harm they can make words, just simple words like you're stupid or you don't know how to do something. Therefore, what I want to say is that is it really worth it to hate someone? I think that the point is to manage our feelings and make the best of them, so we can avoid bullying and all bad experiences. Thank you.
Okay, guys, I want to improvise and tell you something about meditation, because it's a very important topic for me. And I somehow see it as a cure or a possible suggestion to eliminate hate speech. Dalai Lama once said, if every child in the world was taught meditation at the age of 8, we would eliminate war within 2 generations. And first of all, I want to ask you a question. When was the last time you didn't thought about anything? You didn't think about anything? Just think about it. And it's probably like we are having a constant chatter in our mind all the time, and meditation helps you to really get out of it and be the observer of these thoughts and feelings. So the main goal isn't to sit down and force yourself to not think about anything. It's rather to let it all flow. You sit down and you try to sit straight and feel very empowered, and then you start watching your breath and just letting all the feelings and thoughts come and go. You're watching them and realize that you're having them, and then you're going back to your breath and just letting them go and flow. And I would suggest you to start very small, maybe 5 minutes a day, just to get into the practice, because it's a little bit like exercise. You have to do it on a daily or weekly basis to really get you into the flow. But I realized that it's an amazing tool to calm yourself and be a bit more peaceful. And if we pass it on like to other people after we practice it, it's just going to be spread around the world, and that would be beautiful. And yeah.
We are 17.5 billion in the world. Physically, nobody look like nobody. Some are blonde, dark hair, tall or short like me. We are different. We have all 2 legs, 2 arms, a mouth and eyes, and we know what is it. What is it to be sad, to be to be sad, to be afraid, and to be happy. I never been bullied, but I know people who were bullied. She killed herself because she had a problem, and nobody of her family and her friends support her. Maybe if her family, her friends, she will be alive. Some people are not open. Open-minded. They don't accept the difference. They judge anyone without knowing the story we have. We have to choose them very, very well.
My draft is a mess, but tonight we're here to speak about a type of speech that doesn't discriminate or attack anyone, that treats respectfully each individual without taking into account their gender, race, religion, sexuality, or many other facts that make each person unique. However, what is it happening nowadays? Is it hate spreading through society? Let's start with some famous examples over the history, like Hitler, Franco, or Mussolini. We all know what happened with them. Nevertheless, we have some clear examples of similar monsters who use hate speech to reach the power in our current modern world, such as Donald Trump or Marine Le Pen. Donald Trump, who is actually the president of the United States, and also who called Mexican people rapists, proposed a ban on Muslims entering to the USA, or wanted to build that famous wall. And Marine Le Pen, who is a French parliamentarian and leader of the opposition in France, said some years ago that immigration could be ended up in 3 months if spreading the Ebola. It is a fact that citizens have chosen them to represent our society, but do we really hate each other? I think we don't. But this type of speeches create the minority monsters, blaming them for the economic problems that actually the government should be blamed for, such as low wages or unemployment. On the contrary, instead of focusing on blaming small communities, we should try to avoid being influenced by such populist talks that use it to connect with the angriest voters, achieving their political goals through discrimination. On the other hand, we should try to improve their lifestyle in their former countries. We all can change the world's direction, loving instead of hating each other. We are the future, guys.
You see, I can turn on the light and turn off the light, turn on the light.
For 3 minutes.
Yes, thank you. I don't want to sit. Grazie. So, first I want to tell you something. My name is Dimitri, but you already know this thing. I'm 25, and I'm with you right now. You have to know one thing. When I was 22, I opened my own company in special events management. 20 years, yes. I was 22, yes. And people told me, you are too young, you don't have the maturity to do it, you are going to lose your money, and blah, blah, blah. And this speech really touched me, because I was a little bit afraid about what I will go to do. And the difference between them, I had a goal in my mind and in my health. I was really sure about what I want to do. And maybe do you know what is the goal? This is these things who take you by your stomach, take you by your health, take you by your brain, and can take the power to transport you like a bulldozer who want to cross all the road you have in your life. Okay? And the question I want to ask to you again is, do you prefer to create your way of life or your way to survive? It's really 2 points really different. And when I was asking myself about this question, I had a little voice in my mind who told me, wait, it's not the right time now. But the reality is a little bit different. This right time never came, okay? The year, the day, the month, and the years passed, and I was waiting for this. And actually, I don't know who you are, what you did in your life, but I'm sure about one thing, it's the decision you can take in your life can make and create the person you are. And every single choice you made, every single action you are going to do are going to bite your own future, okay? If you think your life is not full of what you want, it's your own responsibility to say the right time is now. And indeed, it's your own business to now decide to put a new rock in your wall of life, to do a new step to a better life, okay? Every single day you will wake up and think, you have to think, it's my life. And nobody have to tell you what is good or what is wrong for you. Every single day you will be against the people who are trying to change your own soul, yourself. Okay? Every single day you will kill this little voice inside you who said, it's not a good time, it's too hard, or you are not going to be good for this. Now it's your business to stop this game between you and yourself. Ask yourself, what can I do if nothing looks like impossible? What can I do if I decide to never give up? Some people are magic to create or to do things looking impossible 5, 10 or 20 years ago, but they did it. So become one of them, because never forget that you have the capacity to climb the highest mountain in the world. You are amazing. Be sure of that, guys.
Hello, I want to talk to you about one thing I dream about. We are here on a no-hate campaign. Imagine if we were on a yes love campaign. We are all the time saying we want to change the world, but we don't even dare saying the word love. Let me ask you a question. When was the last time you told your mother, you told your father, or you told your sister or brother that you love him or her? Has it been a while, hasn't it? Why can't we say that word? Why is it so hidden inside us? Why can we insult? Why can't we say please? Or can we say thank you? Or can we say no or yes? Why can't we say love? Why are we all here fighting against hate when we could be fighting for love? We are very lucky to be here, but we could be lucky the day we dare to fight for what's really important, which is love and not hate. Thank you.
Hello, I haven't got nothing to say, but still that I'm going to talk. I was thinking that in 100 years we all are going to be dead, and it makes me think about the life and death and how love and hate are in our lives. When this day will finish, we are going to return our home, our routine, our lives, and our hate, because I think that the hate is in the routine, in the school, in the home. Personally, I have a type of hate that is inside me. It is a hate that I feel when I do something wrong and when I make a fail, and when I feel this hate always when I have a thought that I did not want to have. For all this, I hate myself. But things like this camp are going to be always in our mind, in our remember, and when we will in my home and think in that days, the remember, for example, of Clara playing the guitar and singing will come to me, and it will be a bright of life, a remember of something that was love to make the difference. I will say a lot of things, but as you can see, I haven't got words. Because of that, I searched a poet, Walt Whitman, and I believe their words can say that I won't say better than me. Okay. That you are here, that life exists, an identity, that the powerful play goes on, and you may contribute with a verse. It's all.
Today I would like to talk about something that everybody knows, unfortunately, the war. The word war is sadly going to dictionary. It means struggle between two states. The people who commit this violence have the same goal, protect their things, which is ridiculous because we are living together on the same world. Why so much conflict between people? Yet, no such difference of each other. We can see in the story that the war led humans to nothing. I ask myself with the questions. Why are we doing war? Well, we can do a lot of big and beautiful things together. Thank you for that.
So
Today I wanted to talk about hate speech among young people. I think it's very important to express your opinion and to share it with your friends and whoever you are hanging with and talking with, but a lot of the times your thoughts are negative, and when you share those thoughts, it's kind of like hate speech. And I think when you ask a lot of young people, they will say, oh yes, I've been bullied before, I've gotten some hate speech, some hate comments, and I think that's not okay. We don't talk about it enough among each other. Like if we were sitting and drinking coffee, I don't think somebody would start a topic about hate speech, and that really bothers me because I want to talk to my friends about hate, and I also want to talk to them about love, but we do talk about love and we don't talk about hate. So I think we need to talk more about hate and resolve our problems and just talk about it.
Okay, I want to say something before. I wasn't brave enough, like everybody else, to talk actually about my personal experience, but it's actually hidden in my speech. And this talk I'm gonna do was inspired by a conversation I had yesterday with Daniel. And it's about the environment you grow up in and you live in. So I've lived in different environments, and every one of them has actually changed me in a different way. I feel a different person every time I change country because of the people there, the way they behave, and the environment I'm in. And probably has happened to you too if you lived in different countries. This is the reason why I'm really fascinated by the relationship between the environment and the mental well-being of a person. I read an article titled Understanding the Pursuit of Happiness in 10 Major Cities. The conclusion was that actually the cultural acceptance of that country makes people more or less happy. And especially, I'm quoting, cities that are a good place to raise children because of the low rate of bullyism also have happier residents. Indeed, they suggest that such places foster the types of social connections that can improve happiness and manage to stop the spread of AIDS species. But that actually has changed. Internet became our environment, and that must not be forgotten. We were talking about what country would you like to live in, and we can go anywhere, but if we use social media, we will still be attacked by people in a way or another. There's no place that can hide us, actually. But that was my first thought. Then I read another article, and apparently on Facebook, a group of neo-Nazis published places where Jews live and their phone numbers and their businesses, and they were harassed because of that. Some of their lives were put in danger because of this post on Facebook. And Facebook denied its removal because it actually was within its free speech guidelines. But later on, they had to do it because of the bad advertisement, not because they actually recognized their fault. So the German government did something. They promoted new laws And one of them says that who fails to promptly remove racist incitement and slander once uttered to it will face fines up to 50 millions. Some social medias, or at least the PR of those social medias, said that it's an attack on free speech. But actually, we had the same issues before, and people weren't allowed to do that in real life. So why would it change on social medias? Rather, it is an effort to bring enforcement to existing hate speech laws. If that happened before, something like what happened on Facebook wouldn't be allowed. So, yes, internet has restricted our power on our environment, but we can actually shape it. And it's not just the government, everybody can do that. So what I want to tell you, finally, is shape your environment to make it happiness friendly.
So hi, my name is Laura, and this was my speech, but I don't like it, so I wanted to talk about people, but I decided I'm going to talk about animals. And I'm going to talk about horses, because I go on a ranch, and we have 13 horses. And every horse has got its own story. And there's one special horse who was treated real badly. They hit him, he didn't get enough food, and he was really scared of people. And there was one farmer who was making love with him and of all the horses in previous stables, because he was like, he was knocking on their door and he was scaring them out, so he was like really scared horse. But here on ranch, a lot of children come, and they're really young, they don't understand things, but we try to explain those things to them. And I took them to the stables, and I told them they have to check the horses, and they have to tell me do they like them or which horse they don't like. And then I left them there for half an hour. And then when they came back, I asked them which horse do they prefer and everything. And they didn't tell me which horse they like. They just told me that they hate that horse because they hate that specific horse because he was like going away. He didn't want to look at them. And they said the horse hates me and I hate this horse too. But they didn't tell me why. And then I thought about it and now understand, they were children, but still, we can't just judge others without knowing their story. So please, even when in your lives, just try to first get to know someone better, and then don't judge them, but just like try to accept them the way they are. So, thank you.
Question for you. What will you do if someone bullies you? Maybe some of you will go to see their parents or an adult. But some other people will do nothing because they are shy, scary, and they lack of self-confidence. They will confine themselves to themselves, eat away by fear, anger, sadness, and doubt until lose hope. At this moment, they kill themselves. I'm going to tell you a story. When I was in school, there was a girl. She was in my class since 2 years. This year, she killed herself because a lot of persons said her hurtful things. She lost self-confidence and was embarrassed by herself. And she ended up by killing herself. She threw herself on the rail of train. When she killed herself, she also hurt her family and her true friends. The most important things that they have to remember is the freedom of speech doesn't justify bullying. Words have power. Be careful how you use them. Treat the others how you wanted to be treated. That's all.
Sorry, I'm very shy. Despite all the things that you think may be terribly wrong with you, love yourself. Tattoo it in your brain. I can think of so many reasons why you should love yourself, but there's just one. It is incredibly dull and uninspiring to be around people who do not love themselves. I spent many years feeling like I'm not perfect, but fuck it. My life is better without hate. Here's my challenge for you. Take a picture of your face and remember that in 10 years' time you will be amazed at how gorgeous you were. Be amazed that you know. Identify something about you that you may not adore, and find a way to at least laugh at it or like it, even a little bit. The choice is yours to make. I have turned something I don't necessarily love, having into another piece in the puzzle of me. And part of the way I love that puzzle. What can you love about yourself today that you may have struggled with before? Can you find a way to cultivate the opposite? According to Patanjali's Yoga Sutra 2 and 23, when the mind is disturbed by improper thoughts, constant pondering over the opposite is the remedy.
So I didn't think about anything, but I must say I often ask myself, where does hate actually comes from? Or where does this energy comes from to spread hate? Like, why? There's so many different things to do actually. And I am so impressed from tonight because I think it's such a big step. And it would be such a big step for most people if they just started thinking. If they just started thinking about ways to enjoy themselves, to enjoy their lives, and not copy somebody, not just blur out their frustration, rather sit down and take good ideas and deal with them and just find a way. Thank you.
I wasn't supposed to be talking now, but here I am. And I was thinking about what Juan has said about loving and so on. And I have realized that I love a lot of things and I don't say them. So I only have to say that I love you, Spanish team, so much.
I forgot one thing to say.
Just because it's you.
Okay. I think everything is possible for the people who dream, who try, who work, and never give up.
I didn't want to come here and speak, but since it's the end, and I think I've got something to tell you. Because we are speaking about No Hate campaign, we were speaking about love. I really enjoyed all of your talks. I want you to focus that many of you, you didn't want to come here and speak, you didn't even want to do it. Some of you didn't do it, prepare it in very short notice, short timing. And look what have you done. You can look it again. One thing that Juan said made me think and so emotional, because I've lost my father almost 1 year ago, very suddenly, for a huge illness, but in a couple of months. So I passed a moment which was very sad for me, because not only the hate, it's a bad thing, but also the sadness, which is also sometimes cause of the hate. So now I want to take the advantage to share something with you. A method that I have used also to heal myself. Because many times when we are experimenting a sad moment, a down moment, we are going even down and down. Everything looks gray, everything looks sad, everyone looks better than us, everyone looks luckiest than us. So I took a challenge, an opportunity. That's why I gave you all this time to express yourself. I didn't want to force you. We will not force you. The opportunity was to do the exercise, not to speak. And this challenge that I took was a gratitude challenge, because we almost never think about the gratitude. And every day I was focusing on 3 things that I can be grateful for. And I was analyzing one of these in the deepest. And then I did something that Jana was talking about. I started to meditate for at least 5 minutes a day for 40 days. And also the physical exercise. Even if I don't look in shape, I'm doing at least 10 minutes of exercise a day when I am home. And another thing, a random act of kindness. It seems very little things, but if you put it together, these things, and if you do it for a long period, like 40 days, just to make this habit, it can have a powerful effect. It happened to me. Now I don't need it anymore to force myself to do it, because every day I feel the bright, and I feel what to be grateful for. And for example, today I'm grateful for you. Thank you.